Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 2 of your Global Purpose Expedition. You can see I'm not in my office today. I'm actually down in San Diego at a colleague's, and I want to welcome you to your second week. So during week 1, you had the opportunity to dive deep into your fully actualized self, your IntelliKey, and begin to kind of mine this deeper resource, this deeper wisdom about what your soul's purpose really is. Start to see some of these new aspects from all 10 aspects of your soul's purpose. Now today we're going to look somewhere else. We're going to look outside of you. And you'll actually reach out to 10 people in your community to find out wisdom and hidden insights about your purpose that you can't normally hear. At least a lot of times people reflect to us how great we are, or they share with us how we changed their lives. But we're not actually able to hear it. Now that we're going to request it, you're actually going to be able to hear it in a new way. So as with every week of this challenge, of this expedition, it's important that you do your morning purpose ritual. So every morning, connect with your purpose tree mandala to root your awareness and soul and purpose. And you also have your group call this week and your purposeful share this week. So whatever you discover from your exercises this week, you want to begin sharing that with people outside of your life. That's what really has it root when purpose lives in conversation. When people start to know that you're somebody who's living their soul's purpose, they begin to relate to you that way eventually. So some folks might be totally accepting and relate to you that way immediately, and other folks, it may take some time. So before we dive into today's teaching, I just want to share a note on resistance. So we've had 1 week together, and for some of you, maybe even all of you, you're starting to kind of question, like, what the heck did I just get myself into? And that's totally normal. There's 1,000 reasons to not want to do this course. Now, inside of each of us, there's a number of different voices, and they say that you don't have what it takes. Now is not the right time. You don't like how it's set up. You don't like me. There's a gazillion reasons, right, to not do this course. Now, it's important that you notice when they come up, because if you try to suppress them, they'll begin to kind of just show up in the background and affect your participation in the course. They'll diminish the way, or your ability to actually get value out of these exercises. So as soon as they show up, as soon as anything kind of comes up and says, I really shouldn't be doing this. I need to reorganize the garage, or I need to pay more attention to my marriage, or I need to, whatever. Like, your resistance is designed to keep you from finding your purpose. So it's a function of the ego that is trying to keep your soul quiet. Just know that that's what it does. But there's another part of you that said yes to this course, that said, I'm going to do this course. I'm going to overcome my resistance. I'm going to discover my purpose. I'm going to live it. And that's the part you need to be listening to right now. And what's really helpful is to share with somebody what you're experiencing. Say, like, hey, I committed to this course and I don't want to do it because I don't like this guy's stupid face. I can't stand his voice, and blah, 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 blah. All the reasons. And say, I just need you to listen to all my reasons to not do this course. And then I also need you to listen to my reason for being in this course. So you know what that is. You know what you put at stake. So you have a choice. You can either be attached to your reasons, like, oh yeah, it's really important for me to believe everything I think, or you be committed to your future. And that's basically the only way through it at this point. In week 5, we're going to dive deeper into your resistance. You'll get some new tools. But for right now, you just need to hear that, like, your mind, your ego is generating reasons to stop, to resist, to not do the work. But there's also a part of you that says, do this. You know it's good. Just write it out. Just do that. So I'm encouraging you to be committed to your future here. So, you might ask, like, why reach out to other people to find out about your purpose? Because after all, it's your purpose, right? It's your soul's purpose. Now, one of the things I discovered is that a lot of times people who know us actually see us better than we see ourselves. Like, I have an idea about myself. Like, oh, I'm a smart guy. I'm athletic. I love big ideas. I love social change. Like, I have this idea about myself, and that idea actually filters out any kind of information that doesn't, fit into that filter. So I'll share with you a story. So I had this ex-girlfriend, which is an amazing woman, still is. Um, and she said, "Brandon, you're a healer." I'm like, "What? I'm not a healer. Like, I know what a healer is." And I had, some judgments about what that word means, right? But I'm like, that's not me. Like, I start businesses and I'm, leading a movement and I write books and I'm a maverick, whatever. Like this very like macho idea of who I am. She's like, no, really, you're a healer. She's like, who you are, your presence is healing. She's like, your hands are healing. And I won't go into all that. But she's like, actually, the work you're doing in the world heals it. She said, without purpose, we don't get access to what we care about. We don't get to open our hearts. We stay inside who we are. She's like, and what you're doing is making it possible for individuals and for our planet to heal. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And then as I sat with it, I'm like, wow, my purpose is a healing purpose. And I didn't have any conception of myself in that way. So, even though I identify my powers as like, speaking and coaching and leading teams and all that, like I'm starting to see that that's all underneath healing. It's all underneath bringing wholeness and health to the planet. And so this is what you're going to get a chance to experience today when you reach out to your 10 people. But before we kind of go into the logistics of that, I just want to share with you today's quote. This is from Aristotle. What is the essence of life? To serve others and to do good. Now, what Aristotle is pointing to is that your purpose it's not an inner game. It only exists in relationship. It only exists in how you impact others. Like it doesn't matter, or it doesn't mean that you don't have an inner awareness. It doesn't mean that you don't receive. It doesn't mean you're not on purpose when you're in isolation. But the full picture of purpose is actually one that's in relationship, one that's in relationship to you and the world. As the English poet John Donne said, no man is an island, no human is an island. We only exist in relationship. There's not a single human without humanity. There's no inner purpose without some effect out in the world. And we're starting to see this across all of our sciences. In quantum theory, quantum mechanics, it's connecting and entangling our physical understanding of the world in ways we, Newtonian, Cartesian, the Newtonian Cartesian worldview doesn't allow us to believe. But we're doing scientific experiments showing that like we can actually send a particle to space and back, that we can affect a particle that's super far away instantaneously, meaning that something travels faster than the speed of light, which again, like breaks Newtonian or Einsteinian physics. So the world is becoming increasingly more entangled. We're seeing it in our economic picture. Like everyone's relying on everyone else to make something else. We're seeing it in actually the history of our cosmos, that every single thing needed to happen to put humans on Earth. We're made up of star stuff. At least 2 stars had to die in order for us to get the elements we need to live here. Right? There's an interdependence across time. And then even within our own bodies, we have this beautiful thing called the human microbiome. It has 10 trillion non-human organisms. Basically, there are more organisms inside you, more cells inside you that are not human than are. And that only comprises about 2 pounds, so don't think you're a total alien. But there's a significant but tiny part of what it means to be a healthy human that is not human. We are ourselves like a kitchen sponge. So everything has its purpose, and yet everything is connected with everything else. And so we're going to begin to deepen this muscle this week and move you into the world and have you see how your purpose connects with other people, how who you are really exists because of what you're able to do and contribute to others. So as your purpose tree begins to take form, you'll start to see that a lot of its components actually touch other people. And as you do this week, as you do your purpose tree, or as you do your 10 emails this week, you'll start to see new aspects that your community actually has for your tree, for your purpose. That's why we ask you to do it in pencil, so that you can begin to fill in the new pieces of your purpose as they start to come online. So you'll ask folks these questions. You're going to send an email, and I'll share with you the format. You ask them, what are your greatest qualities, and how would you describe my energy? You're going to ask, what are my greatest gifts? What do I do really well? What could you see others wanting or paying me to do for them? You'll ask them, how have I shown up for you? How have I helped you or added benefit? You'll ask, how do I hold myself back? Where am I not contributing my gifts and qualities where I could? And then you'll finally ask, what would you like to see me give my life to? So when you ask these 10 people, and you're going to ask for 10 people from all these different parts of your life, the more different parts of your life, the better. There's going to be people who know you really well, but are from, some from school, some from family, some from work, some ex-lovers, so on and so forth. Like, you want as many different types of people as possible. And you'll start to receive their wisdom. And you'll start to see that who you really are is far greater than what you give yourself credit for. So enjoy this work. Send out your emails immediately so you can get them back before your group call. And share yourself fully with people in your life. Share what you're getting out of this course. We'll see you next week.